Toronto City Council has voted to direct city staff to draft a proposal bylaw that could limit protests near places of worship, schools, and hospitals.
The mobs that have taken over our streets are preventing people from going about their daily lives in peace and security. They've been blocking roads, they've been blocking entrances to vulnerable institutions, they've been harassing people on the way on their daily lives. So this will give police the direction they need to protect the rights of people who just want to go to their place of worship, their faith-based school, or vulnerable cultural institutions.
Toronto police say more than 2,000 events in relation to the war in Gaza have taken place across the city since October 7th, 2023. Councillor James Pasternak says the vast majority of these protests target the Jewish community. But Gur Tabar with Jews Say No to Genocide says the move violates charter-protected rights.
I think the vote to move this forward is basically bringing the city one step closer towards fascism. It brings the city one step closer towards criminalizing Palestinian dissent.
But the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says protests cannot be an excuse to target a community, telling City News in a statement in part, "Unfortunately, our Jewish community has been the target of escalating hate and threats over the past 14 months, which has been largely fueled by the hundreds of hateful protests that have taken place. A bylaw, combined with other city resources to combat hate crimes, is a reasonable, common-sense way to ensure Toronto remains safe for all communities."
When people are being targeted based on their identity, whether it's the faith or gender or what it might be, that is where I draw the line.
Brampton and Vaughan recently implemented bubble zone bylaws, restricting, quote, nuisance demonstrations to 100 meters away from vulnerable social infrastructure, including places of worship, schools, and hospitals. Protesters who violate the bylaw can be fined up to $100,000. But Toronto police say they already protect some spaces. For example, Hospital Row.
We didn't need a bylaw to do that. We just simply set up rows of police officers and said, you will not come down this way.
Staff are expected to report back to City Council with the proposed bylaw in the first quarter of 2025. At Toronto City Hall, Michelle Mackey, City News.